A is for Actuary, an A to Z book for aspiring actuaries of any age, by Coaching Actuaries. A is for Actuary. An actuary uses data, statistics, and math to calculate and manage risk. B is for Binomial. Binomials are used when your choices can only have two possible results. C is for Central Limit Theorem. The Central Limit Theorem helps us estimate probability distributions when you have more and more samples. D is for Deductible. We have to pay a deductible before our own insurance pays a claim. You want this to be low. E is for Exams. Exams help actuaries prove how smart and skilled they are. It takes a lot of studying to pass an exam. F is for Formula. Formulas are like mathematical recipes, but with numbers instead of ingredients. Actuaries are constantly using complex formulas to solve complex problems. G is for Graph. A graph helps you visualize and organize your data. H is for Hedging. Hedging is how you can minimize your risk with investments. It's like eating your favorite breakfast in case you don't like what's for dinner. I is for Insurance. Buy insurance to guarantee you'll get paid if something bad happens. Lots of actuaries calculate how much this costs. J is for Joint Life. Joint life is a kind of insurance policy that makes sure your spouse gets paid after you're gone, or vice versa. K is for K nearest neighbor. With K nearest neighbor, you can make predictions about your neighbors by looking at the whole block, like how many cars one family has by seeing how many cars their neighbors have. L is for Limit. A limit is the most money you can get from an insurance claim. You want this to be high. M is for Model. Models turn everyday questions into math equations. You can use models to calculate how much paint you need to paint the wall, or make predictions about events like the weather. N is for Normal. A normal distribution of values forms a symmetrical shape called a bell curve. It's used a lot to solve probability problems. O is for Option. An option lets you reserve something for a small cost now to buy it at a fixed price later. P is for Probability. Probability is how likely something will happen, like rolling doubles on a pair of dice. Q is for Quadratic. Quadratic equations involve a variable multiplied by itself. Memorize the quadratic formula by singing it to the tune of Pop Goes the Weasel. R is for Risk. Risk represents the possibility of something bad happening, like falling off your skateboard. Knowing the risk of getting hurt helps you make smart decisions, like wearing protective gear. S is for Statistics. Statistics are ways to describe data using numbers. Actuaries use these constantly to gather information and make predictions. T is for Time Value of Money. The time value of money is how much your dollar is worth today compared to how much that dollar is worth tomorrow. U is for Uniform. You have a uniform probability distribution when all possible outcomes are equally likely to happen, like randomly pulling a blue marble out of this jar. V is for Variables. Variables are labels for numbers. These labels have several handy uses, like when the value isn't known yet, or to represent a list of possible values. W is for Weight. Weight is a number that reflects how important one part is in relation to the whole. It's like how important a trophy you won is compared to all your other possessions. X is for X. X is the most often used symbol for an unknown variable in an equation. Solve for it. Y is for Yield Rate. Knowing the yield rate is knowing how much your savings will be worth year after year. Z is for zero. Zero is the symbol for nothing. It looks like the number on this page. Zero is how many cookies are left in the jar after you eat the last one, and how many letters come after Z. The end.